Hello YouTube, this is Judson Game 44 here, and wow, I must say, I was very impressed how come this Halloween special came out. This was actually really great. Let's start with the intro. The intro was actually lazy. It was the 10th anniversary special intro. I guess maybe they didn't have enough time to do it, but I was just really upset in a way, because I was just saying, what? Are you serious? This is seriously the thing? And it's nothing more but the same theme song. If you ask me, why couldn't they just use like the Halloween? I don't remember if they actually had the first Halloween theme song thing, but either way. But basically, let's get in here. Basically, it starts off with pretty much like fun things. There's jellyfish bats flying around. Everyone's dressed up in costumes, stuff like that. We basically get up to Spongebob, and his house is dressed up with unicorns and hollow. It's kind of really funny. Basically, Patrick then comes around, and basically SpongeBob thinks it's all cheerful and jumpy. And pretty much, Mr. Krabs is dressed up like a dollar. Squidward's not really dressed up anything. And Sandy's a scientist, of course. But let's basically get to the point. Basically, it starts off after their conversation ends with Patrick and SpongeBob talking about how come it was fun. Basically, Squidward, we immediately get to see him in his house, saying, "Oh, there's no canning, but there's giant piles of onions that come out and the kids run away." SpongeBob is scary and everything, so Patrick teaches him that scary equals funny. It's a very fun gag and everything. Anyway, pretty much what happens is, they immediately then go to the Krusty Krab. Well, not to the Krusty Krab just yet. They go to Sandy's house, which instructs them to a scary lab. And there's tons of funny gags and everything. There's a puppet, there's jars. Sandy admits what's really in the jars and everything. And the puppet was just honestly hilarious. And pretty much, we then go to the Krusty Krab, but is dressed up as the Chum Bucket. And then after that, well, pretty much it's like saying, "Kraft Chum is made out of carrots and vegetables." And then they go to the Chum Buckets, which is dressed up the Krusty Krab, which I guess they got this idea, or if it's not, from basically like a lot of theory videos about saying, it's not made out of meat. Krabby Patties. From fish or other crabs. Stuff like that from the creators mention it. But basically that's what a lot of theorizers thought about, so I guess they put this idea because a lot of theorizers were saying it. But however though, let's get into the next part. Basically, SpongeBob is laughing out so loud and happy and very proud of what's going on. But pretty much, the Flying Dutchman loves scaring, picks up a kid and actually scares him because he was not scared, and then hearing bursts of laughs, and then hears SpongeBob laughing. And pretty much what happens next is, pretty much, SpongeBob is very laughing and joyful. So, the Flying Dutchman is honestly hating it, obvious, because he wants him to be scared. So, what happens? Basically, he takes them on the ship with Patrick along, and basically what goes on is that a fun little song with Puppet Ghost, yeah, like Puppet Ghost from, I don't really remember what that show was called, from old little kid shows. The Red Puppet, everything. Basically, it's a song, it's kind of hilarious and very creative. I definitely love it. But basically, what happened next is pretty much Patrick is very scared. SpongeBob is not. And the Flying Dutchman is very angry, so he decides to kidnap his friend's souls. He takes Plankton, he takes SpongeBob, he takes Patrick as well. And pretty much he takes the rest of the gang. Sandy, Squidward, Gary, you get the point. Basically what happens is, he took all of their souls and everything, and all their bodies are like statues now. And so pretty much what happens is, they're all locked in cages, and when he sees Patrick, he sees a dead corpse right next to him, and then he starts screaming. And then he runs out of there, and pretty much he realizes he needs to save his friends. What was most interesting about this, we finally got a scene where like pretty much the Flying Dutchman and Plankton pretty much became friends in a way. Like, they're working together in a way. So yeah, that was very interesting, because we never seen these two characters actually interact until now, really, if you think about it. But pretty much, what happened here was actually more interesting. The Flying Dutchman was going to cook them, and SpongeBob tried to scare him using Sandy's puppet robot, whatever, but didn't work. And pretty much, I think this was continuity, but Plankton says, "I've been in his mind before, it's even scary, even for ghosts." So the Flying Dutchman says, "Oh, heck no, it's not." He stomps on Plankton and immediately goes in. And he's terrified of the mine. They don't go into stop motion for this. They go back to normal 2D lazy animation, but It's very hilarious and funny. It's a bunch of candy and everything. I think that's kind of supposed to be like a little reference, like from the Spongebob Out of Water when Plankton was in his mind. Because don't forget, Plankton has been like 3 or 4 times in his mind now. Like the first one all the way back in old seasons when we first saw him controlling SpongeBob's brain. The second one was like he was trying to get in to find out what the secret Krabby Patty secret formula was. And then Out of Water, he did that again, but this time it's filled with candy and everything, not a brain house look of his house. But besides that, the flying Dutchman emits a scared, and pretty much he runs away and his ships disappear. All the ghost souls pretty much go back to their normal selves. They're celebrating because they're safe. And pretty much Plankton at the end, he's back to his regular himself, and pretty much Plankton is getting chewed up because kids think he's candy. Now, what do I think about this episode? Honestly, this episode was very hilarious. This joke kept me laughing and laughing. I didn't really stop. It was very funny, and I definitely loved, because you could tell it was definitely 2D, stop motion. I very love that. I mean, I'm not saying it's lazy or anything. I'm saying I love for a fact how great it was. It looked like it was bunch of toys and, like, people playing with puppets and everything, with smoke machines and everything. Like, they were doing it on live and everything, and they came out and make it very great. I really did love that. Honestly, it seemed very fun, creative, and great. It's even way more better than the Christmas special. Yeah, so pretty much what else do I think? What about the comedy? Well, I personally love when I mentioned the onion thing. Because onions, it was very hilarious. And also, Sandy's gags, pretty much every character played a good part, even Squidward. I definitely love at the beginning when Squidward did with the onion thing, like I just said again. But pretty much, I personally love how every character plays a part in this episode. Even the part where pretty much finally Plankton and the Flying Dutchman, after like, pretty much like 19 years, were pretty much never hanging out. Because if you think about it, 19 years passed, and these two characters have never even talked together, or even seen each other until now. So that's what makes this very even more interesting if you think about it. But besides that, guys, I'm giving this about like a 8 out of 10, because I will admit, there were some parts I did not like in this, like pretty much some parts felt like maybe I did not really like for a fact it was pretty much not 2D, it was only in 2D elements in the brain, but I guess it was just supposed to look like that just to make it cuter. But besides that, I pretty much did not like for the fact the intro was just being lazy and everything, that they couldn't just use the regular one, or if they, I don't remember if there was a Halloween intro before the actual episode when the first Halloween special came out. But besides all that, I hope you did enjoy this episode, this review, and until then, this is Judson Game 44 signing out. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye! Potato and pumpkins. Happy Halloween, everyone.